Have you ever wondered, maybe thought about how aircraft or spacecraft was made and designed? Well, you might want to thank the engineers for that. Aerospace engineers who specify in aeronautics handle the aircraft within the Earth's atmosphere, and the ones who specify in astronautics maintain the aircraft within and out of the Earth's atmosphere. Here, I am to inform you about the kinds of jobs you can find with a degree in aeronautics, well-known aerospace engineers, and how they and others impact the planet. Commercial engineers are those who help create ideas for air travel and aircraft for airlines. They design and create advancements in aircraft engines and the plane structure. They evaluate designs to see that the products meet engineering principles, customer requirements, and environmental changes. They are involved primarily in designing aircraft and propulsion systems and studying the aerodynamic performance of aircraft and construction materials. That was found in Sakanu on the web. In military, the usual duties and responsibilities of aerospace engineers include making good research on aircraft and weapon systems. They design the latest aircraft and spacecraft and missiles, as well as an assist in selecting the private companies that will build the aircraft, spacecraft, and missiles. Evaluate and monitor how the aircraft, spacecraft, and missiles are made. Spearhead in the conduct of test analysis with the aircraft and missile prototypes. Aerospace engineers in the military work in office and are also outdoors, especially in the aircraft laboratories when the need arises, or especially when the aircraft are still being developed. The workload in this kind of job is concentrated on monitoring of the aircraft when the military organization is in the process of ordering the limits. They see that the private companies can guarantee as to requirements needed by the military, and that was found in the World Wide Web of Learn. Now that I've explained the jobs of aerospace engineering, I will now tell you about the well-known aerospace engineers. Neil Armstrong. He was an American astronaut and the first person to walk on the moon. He was also an aerospace engineer, naval aviator, test pilot, and university professor. Before becoming an astronaut, Armstrong was an officer in the U.S. Navy and served in the Korean War. After the war, he earned his bachelor's degree at Purdue University and served as a test pilot at the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. And he also served at the High Speed Flight Station, where he logged in over 900 flights. Armstrong's second and last space flight was as commander of Apollo 11, which was the first manned moon landing mission in July of 1969. And I found that on Wikipedia. Arthur Rudolph. He was a German rocket engineer who played a key role in the development of the V-2 rocket during World War II. After the war, he was brought to the United States by Office of Strategic Services, subsequently becoming a pioneer of the United States space program. He worked for the U.S. Army and NASA, where he managed the development of several important systems, including the Pershing missile and the Saturn V moon rocket. In 1984, he was investigated for war crimes, and he agreed to leave the United States and renounce his U.S. citizenship in return for not being prosecuted in the United States. I also found that on Wikipedia. William Boeing. He was an American aviation pioneer who founded the Pacific Aeroproducts Company. When America entered World War I on April 8, 1917, a little more than a month later, Boeing changed the name from PACA to Boeing Airline Company and obtained orders from the United States for 50 planes. At the end of the war, Boeing began to concentrate on commercial aircraft and secured contracts to supply airmail service and built a successful airmail operation and later passenger service that evolved into the United Airlines. That also found that on Wikipedia. The next topic is how aerospace engineers impact the world. Aircraft has military tactics by using aircraft for air attacks and bombing raids through war and conflicts. They help increase trade and commerce around the world to make it easier for countries to ship their products to different parts of the globe. The aircraft affects global multiculturalism because people from all four corners of the world could afford travel to almost any destination and do so for any reasonable time frame. That was, I found that on umicweb.com. Spacecraft. The engineers introduced space shuttles during the mid-1900s to make space travel easier for astronauts. They invented satellites for an entire global transformation on our society to help with communications around the world. The design of missiles for space helped space shuttles be able to travel faster to the moon and other parts of the universe. Also found that on eMitch on the web. Beyond air and space travel, aerospace research and education provide constant spin-offs into medicine. The signal processing techniques developed for aerospace applications are now used to analyze medical data. Energy harvesting, developed for running aircraft sensors, could also power pacemakers. And material advances for aerospace structures can repair heart valves. Also found that on UMIC on their web. Today, I have explained to you what the engineers do on the job, the well-known engineers whom you have heard of, and how engineers impact the world and our society. Engineers continue to help our society and world become more efficient of air travel and are always making an impact.